Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, I'd like to talk about actually like a personal experience I had last night. Um, I was catching up on some of my spiritual content, the spiritual videos that I like to watch, and it was really interesting and very validating. Um, a lot of what the was being talked about in these videos are things that I have been talking about in my videos, and like very specific and like very micro, and it was a good feeling for me, and I just wanted to share that with you because I feel as though it's important, because this is a time of a collective and of coming together and of realizing our oneness and letting go of the separation that has caused so many things in our world that aren't exactly aligned with the divine, let's call it. I don't want to say it's like bad or anything because everything is the divine. So everything's happening for a reason, and for the collective to awaken and to evolve and to come together. Certain things needed to happen, and certain things needed to be happening from the beginning of time. It's all a process. And it is just really comforting to know that, the idea of yesterday we talked about beliefs crumbling, and being replaced with new beliefs and beliefs of the new earth and beliefs of oneness and beliefs of worthiness. And also, we were talking about um, just like the big energetic shifts that are happening right now, and you know the I don't want to say the duality of us, you know basically just us trying to find that balance of, yes, we are part of a collective, but we are also having individual experiences. And the other thing that I thought was really funny, because I talk about our limited perspectives in these human bodies as, having blinders on. And it was so funny because one of the spiritual videos I was talking about our perspective being through a funnel. And I really loved that analogy. And, they were just talking about us trying to kind of widen that funnel. So, like, widening our perspective and kind of, zooming out, like we're always talking about. So, I really personally, I guess I needed to see those videos and I needed to hear that because, and one of the other videos was actually talking about this as well, talking about intuition and getting, downloads and, because it is like a kind of channeling, when you are tapping into your higher self and your guides and your intuition, and, you're getting intuitive hits or downloads or whatever you want to call it. And it was really interesting because this channeler was actually talking about how, you question those things sometimes, am I crazy? Am I making it up? Is this true? Like, am I really in that close of communication with the divine and my higher self? And, you know, um, the analogy that I really like that he gave was when you get an intuitive download, it comes to you like a typewriter typing all of the letters of a sentence in in one place. It's typing the T, the H, the E, all, and it's going all in one place, and then it's downloading into your mind, and it comes all at once, and you're able to decipher the individual letters, like the message. For me, it kind of feels like you're unwrapping it, or like you are just trying to find the words. like the thought is there, the idea is there, did you ever know what you were trying to say, but you had to find the words to say it? That's kind of what it feels like. And I really love that he explained it in that way, because that is exactly what it feels like. It feels like the message comes all at once, but it is a message that takes time to speak, but there is no time in the divine, so therefore the divine is able to kind of just like zap the message into your mind. And the other thing that I really liked that he talked about is asking the divine to repeat the intuitive message. And because you can find validation in that repetition. You can also find that maybe it's not coming from you, that you don't think you're crazy. And I really like that, because there's actually an angel intuitive that I like to see. And she also said that before. She said, don't be afraid to ask the divine to repeat that or to be more clear. So when you're tapping into your intuition, if you know that you're getting a message and you missed it, or it's just not quite clear, don't be afraid to ask, can you repeat that? Or can you make that more clear? Can you explain that in a different way? Or something like that. Because don't forget that we are in two-way communication with our guides and the divine, so they are listening to us always. So, and always wanting to communicate with us. That is what our angels and guides want to do. That's what they're here. They're here to be our teammates during this life. They're here to help us, and they're here to help guide us. That's why they're called guides. um, and they want to be in direct communication with us. They love that. We love that. Everybody loves that. So let's try and be in more direct communication. And and part of that is, if something is unclear to us, asking them to explain. Remember, like, patience is a human construct. So when I say that they don't have patience, I'm not saying that they have a lack of patience. They just don't have that feeling of, well, I'm being very patient with you right now and repeating the message that I'm trying to get through to you. So I will be very patient and repeat it for you. It's not like that, because they can't lose their patience and they can't have patience, because patience doesn't exist. So they are just coming from a place of unconditional love. And they are truly coming only from that place. Therefore, patience only exists if you can have it, but also not have it. So therefore, it's just not a feeling of them. They only feel the love. So when they, if you think about when you're coming from a place of love, it's not a matter of having patience or not having patience. You only have that love. So therefore, they will say things as many times as you need. Like a baby. Like, you will help that baby as many times as they need for them to get where they, for them to learn and for them to grow. You will be coming from a place of love towards the baby as much as that baby needs. Not saying that like we're babies and we're helpless, but we do need help here. That's why we were sent with guides, to have that help. Because this plane, this earth, this life is something that requires help. And I also think that the part of the reason is that we have this help is to bring us together and to realize it's okay to need help and it's okay to accept help, and that very much team aspect, that very much together everyone achieves more. So, not only are we supposed to be a team with our spirit guides and our angels and the divine, but we are also supposed to be a team with each other. We are a collective. So, and we need to start to truly embody that and to truly, form our beliefs around living from our hearts and a place of oneness. If we start to form our beliefs around that oneness, then I think that we can start to see some really beautiful and needed changes. Um, it goes along with the inner work because I think that oneness and that connectedness can be hard to find in some aspects where you are still hurt, because that is where, hurt people, and hurt can be in different ways. People who are thirsty for power, that that comes from a place of hurt, that comes from a place of unworthiness. In order for them to feel worthy, they need to have that power. They need to feel that power. And a hurt person seeks that in the outside world. However, a healed person understands that power only comes from within. So, doing the inner work and the inner healing very much goes hand in hand with us being a collective and coming together as a collective, because it is hard to have the belief system around oneness when you are struggling yourself. It's kind of like when you hear that saying, like, you have to truly love yourself in order to love another. Well, that is the same for coming together as a collective. So that's why we need to, and it can be simultaneous. It doesn't mean that, you're going to shun everyone and not be a part of any sort of collective while you do the inner work. But it's not just about seeking outside and going outside and bringing everyone together on the outside, on the outside, on the outside. No, it's about taking those steps on the outside while also realizing and still maintaining and doing that inner work on the inside. So you then can be a brighter light as a part of the collective. Because when you are the brighter light, remember, the light is the tide that raises all ships. So don't feel like, and life is an ebb and flow as well. I want to say that as well. Because sometimes you will be outside and sometimes it is more building the collective on the outside, but then you will go through phases of life where sometimes it's the inner work. And I believe that the COVID lockdowns and shutdowns were that time of the divine saying, go within. Stop all the outside distractions. This is the time to go within. And now I think we're coming out of that a little bit, and I think that we might be going into a little bit more of a phase of the collective and a little bit more of a phase of coming together and helping each other and needing help and accepting help and giving help. I think that we are truly entering that time. But the inner work is always there. We can always be working on ourselves. There's never a point that, remember, life is a journey. Spiritual awakening is a journey. Healing is a journey. You never really get to a place like, because I feel like, I don't want to say that the divine will laugh, but, if you get to a place where you're like, oh, I am healed. I have done all of the inner work that I need to do. I think that, the divine might bring something up for you. A lot of things have come up for me that I thought that I healed. And it's just like, okay, well, I haven't completely healed from that. Let me continue to work on that. And, it might feel daunting or exhausting, but remember, it doesn't have to be like that. During our healing, we can still alleviate that suffrage by finding peace, by finding oneness, by understanding that it's a journey. If you acknowledge that it's a journey, you will not feel that frustration or like you're taking a step backward when something comes up to be healed that you thought that you healed before. You will just say like, okay, well, let's heal you, because I know that this is a journey. I know that it's not a destination. I don't have to fall under that human foolish construct that I was done with this, 'cause everything comes full circle, and everything is, things are not linear. It's not a beginning and the end to your healing. It's very much cyclical. And that's okay, and we need to acknowledge that, because also keep in mind that we are looking through that funnel and we are looking through that perspective. So sometimes when things come back up that you thought you healed to be healed, it's not only that it's just there for you to continue to heal it, but it might be a lesson, or a lesson that you may have learned that needs to come back up, and it needs your awareness and your attention, because at your point in your life, or maybe you're about to go through something in life, that healing and those lessons are going to be paramount during that time. So when things come back up, sometimes it is, a lesson that needs to be reinforced, or just something that needs to be healed again. But sometimes it serves a purpose, because everything happens for a reason. So when things are coming up at a certain point in your life, it could be serving you to bring your awareness back to that part of your healing. Could be serving, I don't know how it could be serving you, but it could be serving you in a way of something that you're currently going through. And it could be helping you during that time. Remember, it is only our judgment to think that makes things good or bad. So you may think that healing is bad, or something, dark night of the soul. Like you're going through the dark night of the soul. Well, that kind of puts like a really ominous aspect to it, and it's only our human judgment. The divine doesn't look at healing like something dark and bad that you're going through. The divine looks at it as something necessary. You are here to evolve. You asked to come here to evolve, so evolve. Evolve, my friend. Keep going. Remember, you were born to do this. You were born to do this healing. You were born to be on this journey. You were born to awaken. And you were born to be the light worker, the way shower. And those who carve the path, it's the hardest for them to dig out that dirt, to clear the way. And we are here to do that, to make it easier for everyone else to go down that path. And we chose to do that because we have all the tools, we have all the learning, we have all the preparation to do this, and we can do it. That's why we came here. And that is why doing things out of the box and following our highest joy sometimes is not down the regular path, because we are here to carve that new path. We are here to build that new bridge. We are here to carve that new pathway for everyone else, because it doesn't have to be like that for everyone else. And you may feel like, I can already hear my ego being like, well, that's not fair. Why is it so hard for me? And I'm supposed to make it easier for everybody else? Well, ego, life is not about being fair. I chose to do this. And if I didn't choose to do this, and I don't want to say this is not meant in a mean way, but not everyone is cut out for this life. Not everyone is cut out to do this. They're just not. But if you are going down that path and you are being called down that path, you are cut out to do this. And that is why we have to take the harder route for everyone else. I just want to share one more thing. I know this video's gone a little long today, but you know, I was doing some healing work and some release work about, I guess you would say it's some karma, maybe from past lives. And I feel as though I have led a few past lives where they were very difficult, you know, that may have ended kind of harshly. Let's just put it that way. And I was doing some release work on it, and you know, I had a lot of fear about it coming also into this life. And then you know, I got the download that I am doing this work in this life for all those other past lives. You know, and the difference between those past lives and this life is I was not awakened in those past lives. I was not aware of the oneness and creating my reality, and that I am doing this work in this life for all those other past lives. And so no one else has to experience that. You know, I needed those lessons. I needed those past experiences for this time, for this lifetime, so I could really understand what I'm fighting for. You know, because I know now deep in my soul, deep in my heart, why I am here to be a warrior of the light. I understand that now. And without those past experiences, I would not have that why of what I'm fighting for. And now I have that. And you have that too. We are all warriors of the light. If you're watching this video, you are a warrior of the light. If this content resonates with you on a soul level, you are a warrior of the light. We need to keep fighting, my friends. Because the light always wins. Let's be on the winning side. For real, right? So that is our message for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you soon, my friend.